Hello everybody, how are you all doing today? Oop, I just remembered I don't have my correct lights on. 1 second. I hope you're all well, staying safe and living life to the best. I know things are still a little tricky out there. There we go. That's a little better. Ah, much nicer. Whew. Let's play some Vermintide, my dudes. So I'm going to be trying to get my Slayer fancy throwing axes tonight, I think. I can't play for like a crazy long time because I have to go to Houston tomorrow, which is a pretty long drive. And I have to make sure I have a couple of videos ready for you guys while I'm gone. It's Chloe! Hey, come here. What are you doing? You want to say hi to everybody? Is that why you came in here? Come here. Come here. Sit. Hold on. Hold on, Chloe. Hold on. You want to say hi to folks? You want to say hi? Chloe's here. Hey, big girl. You all see my lizardman sword over there? I need to get that hanged up. Hey, up here. Look, 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 look. Oh, big girl. Okay. Nope, not quite. What is... Oh, that's the chat. I was like, what is that line? Alright, well, here, let me get my character set up. And then we will, because I want to make sure none of this has changed. Killing blow gives temp health. Increase crit chance. Wow, those are like super good. Does anybody know if the throwing axe counts as one-handed? You won't get the icon if it doesn't. Oh, okay, so I can check.
You've been good comrades, String Barazzi.
I don't see the icon. Oops. So I'm gonna assume that's a no. Because if I change this out for like that. Oh, no, I don't have the icon here either. And I should have the icon with this set. Will I not know until I go into the fight?
You
give any thought to that little proposition I made?
Kind of loud. Hey, would someone in Twitch say something? I don't see any messages in Twitch chat. I want to just make sure I'm not missing you guys. If I don't see a message here in a second, I'm going to assume that it's broken. Throwing axe does not count as one-handed. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay, I guess we'll do hack and slash then. Hold R after throwing? Yeah, I know. Alright, Twitch is working. Good. Okay, let me go through the... Let me go through the hello queue, and we'll get going. So, good evening to, we got that guy in yellow, Galen Merrick, Andrew Schausch, Rasmus, Mamba King, Yggdrasil, EA Diaz, Mr. Pig, 1627, Eagle Knight, Sweet Taters, Quiz Machina, Great Book of Grudges, Ethan Carlson, hello, hello, Amazing, Richard Woolner, Grand Admiral Gig, and Shifts, hello to Australia, yep. Nicholas Obstinick, we'll talk about the new Fat Shark game in a minute. Richard Woolner, I may have already said that. Austin Jackson, Dr. Zero, Derek Clements, Chloe is awesome. Hugh Gedney, good to see you, my dude. You're here early, Hugh. Sign of the Emperor, hello, my dude. Scion, look at that sexy icon you got next to your name. You got the max tier icon. Look at that nice blood red emblem. Adian Campbell, Strato, Mailman 70, Phoenix Kelly, hello, hello. Also, we got some new emotes for those people who are members. So last time, for anyone that missed it, we have the Doot Doot emote now, and of course I added the Blood for the Blood God emote over on YouTube. So hope you guys enjoy that.
How'd that last lot get so close as okay?
Alright. Anything interesting? 2 missions as Carillion. Probably not going to do that tonight. Okay, so I just need to focus on Bardin. Throwing axes. Here we go. I need to kill all of the lords on Legendary. Of course. Why make it something easy, right? That's just silly. Let's start with Hail Scourge, because Hail Scourge is going to be the most miserable. Hello, name changed. So, Darktide. Yeah, that was a pretty exciting announcement. I actually did not think that Fat Shark was going to be expanding outside of Vermintide for a good while still. So, it's pretty interesting to hear that they're going to the 40k universe with Darktide. Personally, I'm actually more excited for that than I thought it would be. I'm a lot more excited than I thought it would be, because this may sound kind of bad, but like I thought for sure if they did something like that, it was gonna be Space Marines. And it's not. Instead of Space Marine... Oh, I should have gone dual axes, not dual hammers. Oh well. Too late now. I'm just not the biggest fan of Space Marines, so I'm actually really interested to see what it's going to be like being like kind of regular dudes in the universe. It's Nurgle again. Yeah, it does look like it's the same, basically the same enemies from Vermintide 2, which I thought was kind of funny. I thought for sure they were going to do like Gene Stealer cults. I heard that Vermintide 2 is having a Chaos DLC added. They are. Yeah, we're going to the Chaos Waste in the next Vermintide DLC. That is confirmed, which I need to make a video about that. I might do that tonight, because I gotta make some videos to kind of hold you guys over until I get back from Houston, because I gotta go bury my grandmother this weekend, so I will be gone for a bit. Won't be gone super long though, because I have to go to Houston for it, and there's a tropical storm coming into Houston at the same time, because life is just strange like that. So not only do I get to go down to Houston for that, but I get to try and worry about flooding and other stupid issues, because, you know, like, 2020 just keeps trying to one-up itself as best it can, so hopefully I don't get caught in the storm, but we'll see what happens.
A wolf fire thrower. We need to kill it.
Dude, I'm so happy to have my throwing axes. I love throwing axes. They're so fun to use.
Guildsman's lift. Guildsman's lift.
We've got another open slot if someone else wants to join. That doesn't sound good.
As a spawn, we're in for a fight.
Why is that area on fire? I like that the axes are sticking out of them. It's really funny.
The shadows may
Call your target. There's so many of them. Cut to ribbons.
Nice.
It's the only one that's
Glory,
fallen
get all together. Brilliant. What's wrong with you?
Kill the hooker. Make it suffer. The rot downstairs. The fuck. Not so good in a fair fight, assassin.
Did I see the 40K Xbox trailer? That's what we're talking about, Darktide. I actually really think I'm going to want to play it because it looks really good. Sorry for my loss. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's a part of life, you know. Everybody's got to die sooner or later. Hopefully later. But you know, unless they figure out how to upload people's consciousness on PCs in our lifetime, which I would be totally for. Don't get me wrong.
It's suffering.
But I love my grandmother, but she
or perhaps
you know, she has not been in good condition for a long time. So, you know, I'm glad she's not suffering anymore or any of that. I'm gonna miss her, and it sucks that that was my last grandparent.
Must be heading the right way.
May you have a hugging gesture towards the camera. Sure, you can have an internet hug. There you go. That's as good as it's gonna get. I'm sorry.
Stand with Elkie.
into bloom.
Just for you. Just worship Nurgle, lads? Dude, I would be on Nurgle's train in a heartbeat. I would be a heretic so fast.
I take out my frustration where I can.
I haven't played Slayer in a really long time, so I'm really worried that I'm just going to be super suicidal, but, you know, we'll... Nope!
Sunday. Walks away! Taste is worse than the smell.
Oh, here we go. I do not have AP.
I need help.
Oh my gosh. I need double axes. I don't have any freaking... I would... Yeah, throw the bomb. Or not. Rip. That's fine. I need to change my weapon anyway. I want to go dual axe. How much do I actually like 40K? I really enjoy aspects of 40K. There are things I don't like about 40K. Like I'm not a fan of how big the universe is. Because I feel like the 40K universe tends to be so big that it's not it's so big that I have a really hard time giving a shit about anything. You know what I mean? Like, the universe is so colossal that it just doesn't feel like anything matters. There we go. This'll be much better. Everything feels like it's just completely inconsequential, and like the numbers get so big that I just don't care. Estop, my worry for Darktide is that it's going to be like Vermintide, where it doesn't keep enough support to keep it alive. Dude, what are you talking about? Vermintide is still, like, fairly popular and does great. Like, they make good money, the DLCs still get bought, people are still active, you can always find a game. Yeah, I don't know where this, like, oh, the game's dead idea comes from. Did they mention the Chaos Waste or the Warp for the new Vermintide DLC? The new Vermintide DLC is in, it's in the Chaos Waste, not the Realm of Chaos. At least that's what they said in the interview I read. Hope it will be different from Vermintide. Me too. I hope it will be substantially different from Vermintide. Because I don't think anybody really wants just, like, Vermintide in 40k. Like, I would hope that the game has a much higher focus on shooting, especially since the characters are not Space Marines. They're just, like, I don't know what they are. They seem like they're just humans. But, AP! Yeah, I'm not really sure how, like, I saw one of the guys had a chainsword, which was pretty neat looking. But I'm really excited to try it out. It looks like a different angle than I'm used to in the universe. Like, if somebody told me that, if somebody came out and was like, oh yeah, they're doing a 40k game, I would have thought for sure it was going to be like Death Watch or like Ultramarines or something. Not like just regular guys. So I'm actually pretty excited about the regular dude angle. Because in my opinion, that's one of the bigger weaknesses of, which I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with this, but in my opinion, like, the reason I don't like 40k is that as much is because I just don't really like Space Marines. They're not humans. They're almost as far from human as you can be. They just kind of look like humans. Oh, well, that was sneaky and rude. There's art back here.
Badly wounded, Sienna.
Don't let that sword grab you, darling. What?
I really don't like when there's a horde and a monster at the same time. It's so irritating. Okay, apparently there's art up here. Also, that sorcerer can eat a bag. Hey, thanks for the tip, my dude. Do you want it like Vermintide, where you play the bad guys and have to smash up the Empire? Well, yeah, like playing as the villains in Vermintide would be awesome, and we know that's coming. They actually talked about it a good bit in the interview that I was reading, which, yeah, I guess I should just do a video on it. But one of the big things they talked about in the interview was that, like, one of the biggest problems that happened with Vermintide last year was the Winds of Magic DLC. The Winds of Magic DLC did not release in good condition, and it hurt the game more than it helped it by a lot. And I think Fat Shark they are clearly very aware of that. So I'm hoping that, being aware of that, they're gonna work really hard to well, they've said they're gonna be, like, working as hard as they can to make sure that that ends up not being a thing. Like, that you don't have to, that the game isn't gonna be hurt by the next DLC and the PvP mode, where you're gonna be able to play as the Skaven. Because they're introducing a mode where you can play as the Skaven, and maybe other things. But instead of releasing it this year, it might not come out till next year. Because they're, instead of being like, we're going to release it at this date, they said we're going to release it when it's ready. Which is honestly what they should have been doing this entire time. But a lot of people harp on Fat Shark for being slow. I don't give a shit how long Fat Shark takes putting out an update, as long as the update is good. That's my only philosophy on that.
Come here, black rat. Find something over there. Stop showing off. You'll never be as good as Darktide. Get your bones here.
Do the axes have runes on them to make them return to their owner? Yes, they have the rune of flight on them. Which the rune of flight was an actual rune in tabletop you could take. And as advertised, it makes the weapon fly back to your hands. I hear an assassin that makes me nervous since there's only 2 of us up.
What? Someone's doing it.
Jump, 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 jump. I just need these guys to cover my butt. Like, I can handle killing the entire horde as long as they just defend my ass.
Loose nearby. Stay alert. Lightstormer's dead on the ground.
Do I think the Chaos theme doesn't fit well in 40k? What? What do you mean? Like, I think Chaos works in 40k, but I don't think Chaos works as good in 40k as it does in Fantasy. I'll say that. Like, I'm not a big fan of Chaos in 40k. I feel like it doesn't fit the universe as well, because the demons in particular did not, like, evolve. Like, the demons in 40k are the exact same demons in Fantasy, and to me that's very strange. Like, they are a distinctly fantasy-feeling faction. Like, Chaos in 40k almost exclusively tends to be, like, Chaos Space Marines, which is just more Space Marines. I definitely prefer the Xenos as enemies in 40k for, like, a narrative. Like, if someone's like, oh, you're gonna be... What the fuck? Oh. I need a butt guard, dude. I need a Felix. Because every time I, like, turn a corner, I get popped in the butt while I'm trying to kill everything. Hello, hello, hello. Like, at least in my opinion, Space Marines versus Chaos Space Marines is, like, the most boring matchup in the entire universe. Like, the Horus Heresy, is, like, that should have been basically the end of that conflict. Like, that should have been, like, the end. You're done. Like, winner take all. Instead of it, like, still being that. Because I just find, like, oh, if I have to deal with Space Marines, I'd rather be watching them fight, like, Tyranids, or Necrons, or Eldar, or, like, anybody else. Orcs, yeah. Like, Chaos Space Marines versus regular Space Marines, it's just a mirror match where they're all babying about having a different dad. Like, it's literally a bunch of kids fighting in the schoolyard going, my dad's stronger, better at fighting than your dad. And that's like literally the entire Space Marine conflict as far as I'm concerned.
That's what we call a pallet. She's like a living fire of the mountain. Shrinking shot, I have journey. Poison rat. Oh, we're gonna
I'm not swimming across that canal.
See? The legendary butt poke. Got him. I'm gonna take your bomb. I'm gonna drink this. I'm gonna take this.
Potion here. Potion here. Potion.
a war fire thrower. Kill the fruity before it fires. Hold on, let me drink this.
So Chaos is not as big in 40k as it is in Warhammer? No, like, Chaos is a big deal in 40k. Like, and it is primarily... I guess you could argue it's the primary antagonist of the most recent edition. With, like, the Cicadix Maledictum opening up, which is, like, the giant warp rift that split the Imperium in half. It just doesn't come up a lot. I don't know. I'm not the best person to ask about it because obviously, like, I'm super skeptical of anything 40k. It's just not my cup of tea a lot of the time. Like, I don't really like 40k unless we're dealing with Xenos. I love the Xenos of 40k. Like, I think the Necrons are super interesting. I think the Eldar and the Dark Eldar are kind of okay. I love the Tyranids. Genuinely love the Tyranids. I actually find the Imperial Guard to be pretty cool, because they remind me a lot of the Empire, of that they're literally just like regular dudes fighting like god tier threats and just trying to survive. But space, I can't get into Space Marines. They're too different. They're basically aliens that pretend like they're people. Yeah, Chaos doesn't do a lot, it's true. They seem kind of bound to, like, Abaddon and stuff. Excuse you.
We've slain an assassin! Healing stuff! Medical supplies!
Be still.
I find the orcs more fun than the greenskins. I mean, okay, that's fine. I mean, I enjoy greenskins more than orcs with I enjoy orcs with a C more than orcs with a K, because I really like goblins. Goblins and like oodles and oodles of squigs and trolls. Like the big mix of like monsters and goblins and orcs, I find much more enjoyable than just pure orcs. Do I think Tyranid DLC would be interesting for Darktide? Of course. Dude, in a Horde style game, how could you not do Tyranids? That seems like there is, I find it very difficult to think that they're never gonna do Tyranids for that. Like there should be a Tyranid DLC. Ah, fuck, dude. I hate when they come at you from like too many directions. Just the rudest fucking thing. Oops, wrong weapon. All the leaks. All the leaks.
This isn't mortal corruption. It's endless. Timeless.
There, black rat!
How did the Treemen and Dryads come to be? The Old Ones created them. One of the earliest experiments of the Old Ones was that they essentially planted Athel Loren. They basically, like, crafted a sentient form of nature. I'd have to double check the exact wording on what they did. But the Old Ones functionally created Athel Loren as one of their experiments to basically see, like, what would happen if we allowed, like, nature to take care of itself instead of having, like, a guardian type figure, like another race. And it didn't really turn out the way they were hoping. But they seeded it very, very early. Like, Athel Loren is, like, I think next to the Lizardmen, Athel Loren is probably one of the oldest, is probably one of the oldest things that the old ones
Not bad for
crafted.
a fella with one eye.
Sigma guides my
And after the forest spirits were born, they like wandered all over the place. Like they because the Oak of Ages, which is probably like the first thing, one of the earliest things the old ones planted. The Oak of Ages spread its roots, like, basically connecting every single forest on the planet. Or at least all of, like, the major ones. So, that's how, like, they went to Ulthuan and to Nagaroth and, like, all these different exotic places. Where they got to essentially, like, help grow those lands. Like, the spirits of Athel Loren are very fond of Avalorn. In Ulthuan, which is like the inner kingdom where the Everqueen rules from. That's where her court is found. The forest spirits lived there a super long time from Athel Loren because they were trying to. The forest spirits of Athel Loren basically spread around the world because they were interested in trying to wake up the forest spirits of the other forests. They didn't realize they can't. Because the other forests aren't like them. Granted, there are other forests that can have a form of, like, awareness, and that they, like, react violently to, like, magic or dark sorcery or stuff like that, but not in the sense of, like, having dryads and tree men and all that other crap.
Sharon! Someone help!
Oh, we made it to the boss, at least.
Ah, medical supplies.
You're a bit tiny for my taste.
I'll take care of that wound, Sienna.
Which is older, Nakai or Durthu? I think Durthu is... I don't know. I'd have to double check that. See, because Nakai was born... Nakai's a first-generation Kroxigor. But he was born in the city of, I think he was born in the city of Twaksha, which I would have to double check when that city was founded. But I want to say Durthu is probably older than Nakai, but not by much. I'd have to double check though. Durthu is old. Like Durthu is like able to compete with a lot of the slot. He's so old. Just like getting my max stacks here.
That's right. Come closer or stay very still, so I can offer you my
And here come all the little ads. I want to make sure I kill all the ads. Okay, he's about to teleport.
Won't take much more,
Get rid of the ads.
Ready yourself, strength, and I need chaos for you! Not yet.
Production, you should hear. Your help won't Hey, Electro.
Okay.
I hope it's not spile.
Oof. Is Mazdamundi the strongest mortal mage in Warhammer Fantasy? Yes. Mazdamundi is the strongest mage that is alive. and active in Warhammer Fantasy. I'll include active. Active is probably the best way to put it. Do I think that future Wood Elf Lords should be other factions in Athel Loren or one of the NPC Wood Elf forests? I think when, hopefully not if, but when we get more Wood Elf Legendary Lords, they should be leading other complete other factions. So like they should be leading the one of them should like be leading Lara Lorne, and one of them should be leading the Orient's camp, and hopefully they'll add more locations onto the map. Evening Zotek, in your opinion, what's the nicest looking 8th edition model? Ooh. Honestly, probably my favorite model that we got in 8th edition was Krokgar. Krokgar's 8th edition model is beautiful. Yeah, I'd probably say Krokgar is my favorite model from 8th. What's the post called for this new DLC on Vermintide? I'll make a video about it, and I'll include the link down in the description when I do it. Maybe that could be tomorrow morning's video or Saturday morning video, since I've got to record whatever it is tonight. Look at all those melee kills. 169. I always thought you were the only one to feel that Chaos is often... Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think Chaos is bad in 40k. I just don't think it fits the setting as well as, like, the primary antagonist. To me, I would say that Chaos in 40k is the most obvious of the factions that feel like it was just tacked on from fantasy. Like... I feel like when you look at Chaos in 40k, it doesn't fit in as well of like, oh look, here's the universe, and Chaos is a natural part of it. To me, it feels like Chaos is more of an invasive force from fantasy that like moved in though. Which granted, you know, in the like, I think it's explained very well in the universe, but I find the Xenos much more interesting. Been watching your Hero DLC vids and saw that Warriors of Chaos and Norska only got 1 each. If you do a part, I won't be doing a part 2 for them. Once I get through all of the races for the Heroes of Legend, that's it. It's done. The videos that I only did 1 character for, the reason I did that is generally because those were characters who I felt like super strongly were like the best option. Like they fit so perfect that I was like, there's not even a question. They're good. And I didn't really feel like there was a character rival to them. In my opinion, there are people that obviously disagree with that, which is totally fine. Even though, oh my god, dudes, I will say, reading the comments. If you wanna just facepalm constantly, go read the comments in the Hero of Legends videos. There's so many people that either clearly didn't watch the video before they left a comment, or they're just dumb. I'm not sure which it is. I'm gonna assume they didn't watch the video because I don't want to assume the worst about people. But there are so many people that leave a comment on the Heroes of Legend videos, and they're like, I don't think this character would make a very good Legendary Lord. And it's like, bitch, did you even listen? It's called Hero of Legend. It's about a legendary hero choice. It's not a Legendary Lord. Or they're like, I don't like this thing because, like, you can just tell they didn't watch it. And it frustrates the shit out of me when someone, like, reads the title of a video and then they, like, just leave an angry comment or, like, a disagreeing comment, and they're like, that's it, that's my opinion. And it's like, fucking, it just irritates the shit out of me. Do zombies in Warhammer have the same effect when biting people? No, there is not a zombie virus in Warhammer Fantasy. If a zombie bites you in Warhammer Fantasy, it will hurt, and if you are unfortunate, it could end up killing you just because, you know, you're missing a hunk of flesh and you might bleed out. But outside of, like, the bite itself is not any more dangerous than anything else. Am I still angry at Arch? I wouldn't say I'm, like... I still think Arch is a scumbag, yeah.
Stay quiet.
Especially because all he's done is, like, double down as much as he possibly can on his idiotic opinions. So, like, I wouldn't say I'm angry at him, because that requires me giving a shit, which I don't really. But I still think that until something changes, I would label him under being a terrible person. So, I mean, that's there you go. Gotrek and Felix should have both been legendary heroes. I actually like Gotrek as a lord, personally, just because he has free upkeep. And I can, like, run a really cheap army under him. I just wish that Gotrek and Felix had more gimmicks. Like, they're fun and they're powerful, but I wish, like, getting Gotrek and Felix was like a, oh shit kind of moment. Especially if you manage to get them multiple times. Like, I feel like you should be super well rewarded for that by them, like, having their legendary items, or, like, they, like, you know, have really, really overpowered abilities and shit. They don't really, I don't know, they just don't have anything fancy, and it's the lack of fanciness that makes me sad. Have I been trolled a lot by his followers? Not really. Every once in a while, I'll get, like, an ugly message, or, like, somebody will... Usually it's just that video. That video, like, because a lot of the people who comment on that video use not the nicest of language, it gets flagged as, like, spam and stuff. So, like, whenever I go on to, like, manually review... Because sometimes people will leave comments and for some reason YouTube will flag it as being like a bot or something, even though it's clearly not. So in order for that video, so that comment, like, has to be manually reviewed by me. So, like, that's the only time I usually will get nasty shit from Arch simps. Is when I'm like when I have to like review through the comments of that video. But other than that, no, I don't think they. I think Arch's community is too busy with like a million other things right now. You know, compared to some of the shit that Arch has been attacked by lately, my video was not a big deal to them.
Drop. Don't squander it. Quickly now, down here.
I think like the #1 comment that I got that I found very, very facetious was like just tons of people coming in. They're like, look at this guy like giving his opinions on something happening in the world. Like, that's so dumb. He should just like he shouldn't talk about things that are important to him. It's like how about fuck you, because I'm a human being, so I can literally talk about whatever I want. This is also my platform, so I can talk about whatever I want. And, like, if something's important to me, I'm going to talk about it. And people getting hurt is not something I'm kosher with, which means it's important to me, so I'm going to talk about it. Like, I don't give a shit if it hurts your feelings. I could not give less fucks. Has Khalida ever fought Vlad? No. Vlad was pretty good about... But one of the things that I don't think Vlad actually gets enough credit for is that Vlad was very careful about not attracting unnecessary attention. Like, when Vlad first attacked the Empire, the dwarves didn't even get involved in the war. Like, they didn't help the Empire. What is that? Did anybody else see that? There's, like, something back there. But I can't click it, whatever it is. I'm not gonna worry about it. Hey Sotek, I'm thinking about painting some Warhammer Fantasy models. Do you have a box set in mind I should pick up? Well, that depends, dude. What do you want to paint? Like, are you wanting like a certain race, or like a certain? Wow, that Globadier actually did like a really nice like amount of cover. Like what are you looking for? I guess is what I'm asking. Like I'm sure I could give you a good recommendation, but I need a ballpark. Are there wood elves in Lustria? No. There's no like wood elf conclave in Lustria. I'm sure there have been wood elves in Lustria, but yeah. I forgot where I was, but what I was trying to say is, like, Vlad was big on not making unnecessary opponents. Like, the only race that Vlad had involved in the Vampire Wars, because he was really good about not attracting bad attention, was the Empire. Like, the Dwarves didn't even help fight Vlad, because Vlad very purposefully kept the Dwarves out of it. It was Conrad who screwed up by pissing off the Dwarves and getting them involved. Which he very much came to regret that. Wonder if they've tried to talk to the jungle. I mean, I'm sure some of them have tried at some point, but talking to the Lustrian jungle would not end well for the Wood Elves. Like, the Lustrian jungle is easily the, if not one of the, most dangerous places outside of the realm of chaos. Oh, did you see that shot? Axe right into his fuel canister. Beautiful.
You need aid, Kruber.
I love twin axes. So, just to reiterate for anyone who maybe just joined the chat recently, Fat Shark did announce that they're, for the first time in a long time, making a non-Vermintide release. And in 2021, they're releasing a game called Darktide, which Darktide is basically just Vermintide in the 41st millennium. So it's going to be Vermintide 40k, essentially. And personally, I'm super excited. I'm definitely planning to play it. And I have never had a ton of success with getting, like, a working relationship with Fat Shark, but maybe I can rectify that with this game. Like, maybe I can start getting in contact with them to work something out.
A gutter runner. Are you ready, mayflies?
Oh, you cursed assassins!
I'm a hook rat. Wrangler's dead.
Do I know much of 40k? I know enough that I feel like confident that if somebody was talking about the universe, I could keep up regardless of the subject matter. I would not consider myself a lore master of 40k. Like, I would not make YouTube videos about it right now. I would need to, like, buy a lot more books and do more research.
Healing draft. Black one.
Solar one.
Against Sienna, stop it. Healing draft here.
Oh.
Black rat! It will burn!
Here, have a ball.
Miss? Really? I suppose you
I did not miss.
hard.
Give all that a shield, Lucky.
Try and take advantage of these. Oh dear.
Fire is all for gentleness and duty.
Okay, let's go. Gotta get rid of all the ads. Oh, God, they just keep coming. The art.
Storm vermin.
And here comes like a big old fucking... God, I hate this room. I hate this room. This room sucks. Like, if you get a boss in this room, it's almost guaranteed of... Where the hell is that coming from? Okay. Oh, there's two. Oh, move, 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 move. Got an assload of shields. Ah, damn it. Where's my team? Oh my god, I tanked for as long as I could. Oh, he's got a boss behind him. He had a bomb that entire time? Ah! Fucking Christ, dude. Did I take part in a Dark Heresy game? No, never. I have never played Dark Heresy. Yeah, I've never played Dark Heresy. Would I say in Age of Sigmar the dispossessed warden could potentially get a named character of the past returning? Probably not. The only way I could see us getting a Dwarden from the past, like from Warhammer Fantasy, would be if the dispossessed got like a piece of Age of Sigmar lore where they were like, oh, like they have ancestor spirits, like they got like literal like the ghosts of their ancestors to join them on the battlefield. Then yes, I could see them getting, like, Thorgrim, Grudgebearer, or what the fuck are these guys doing? Come on. Let's go chop chop.
A large chunk of Clan Festa are currently camped.
You want a Demon of Chaos box set to paint? Well, you can pick that up pretty easy for Age of Sigmar. You can get, like, a start collecting set for one of the demon factions.
And watch the chaos unfold.
Like those are pretty easy to get a hold of. Were there any survivors from the city of Kazvar? No.
Oh, don't look at me like that. You know you'll enjoy it.
Everybody died. Alpha Chad Loremaster. I am not that. That is a collection of words that do not apply to me.
Cutting off a rat's head.
For Warhammer the Old World, if they add in Nippon and Cathay, do you think we will get an Eastern aesthetic Chaos faction? Yeah. Maybe. Like they might expand out like the Norskins of the East, because you know the Norskin are only one of 3 of like the really big groups that make up the Warriors of Chaos. Like the typical Warriors of Chaos. The other 2 being the Kurgan, who are like over the Darklands for the most part, and then the like the Mountains of Morn, and then the Hung, which the Hung are like way over to the east. So like if they gave us Cathay, and like the Cathay built the Great Bastion, which is the Great Wall of China, but it's called something slightly different because it's fantasy. They built that to keep out the Hung, which is so. If we got Cathay, it would make sense that they might want to expand those factions. I don't know for sure. It could be that they're just going to be like, oh, the Hung are just Warriors of Chaos, or Norskins, whatever you want to call it. Like, they're just Norskins that are more likely to have like Marauder Horsemen, and that could be all they say on that. Honestly, I think if they really wanted to like blow us away, I would be much more interested in diving into the jungles of Koresh, which are supposed to be dominated by chaos, or like chaos worshipping factions, like the Snakemen. The Snakemen would be awesome, just like a really crazy chaos faction. That's kind of like the Famir, but like a lot more expansive. That'd be awesome. I'd be super down for that. I hope we'll get to see the Famir in the old world again, because to my knowledge, Forge World stopped producing the Famir models, which is a bummer.
A healing drop right here.
This way! Across this bridge! Here! That's a storm vermin! Come on then, you blackbird bastard!
No more kills for you, assassin.
I'm gonna search down here while they're getting the Grim, see if I can find anything interesting. I love that you can kill like a line of guys with a throwing axe, because it just like, if you charge it up, because it like you throw it so hard. I can do this all day, I say, until one manages to poke me in the butt. That's okay though.
Out you come, assassin!
Lots of movement here.
You had it by the neck.
Damn, that Bright Wizard just like tore that group up.
Got to run us down.
This is the path!
Nicely done, Marcus. Make it look easy.
It's nothing, Sienna! Bit of training, reflexes.
And a powerful fear of getting another scar, I shouldn't wonder.
Do I think there will be any Cathay units in the Old World Project? I think Cathay is going to be an entire faction in the Old World
Shield
Project.
Raki incoming!
There have been some interesting rumor marks about Cathay. And I think it is very likely Cathay will be like a full playable faction in the old Warhammer the Old World. Because I really think that if they're going back to Warhammer, Games Workshop is going to want to expand a lot more of the world. I think they're going to want to go wider than they did back in the days of fantasy, because it'll make it easier for them to like have a more stagnant narrative. But I don't know, we'll see what they do.
Here's the demon machinery. I put an arrow at your head.
No, throwing axe can't solve. Wait, who found art? Ravs did. Good grief, it is like blinding in this spot. Where'd the Wood Elf find artwork? maybe down here? Oh, healing.
Work, yes, no work.
I need to heal. Show some patience.
Okay, I don't know why. Okay.
There. Gotcha the
Most famous city from the Chaos Waste? I don't know if I'd say the Chaos Waste has cities. It has more like... It has Chaos Fortresses. I wouldn't call them cities, though.
We'll be surrounded, but hardly helpless.
We've slain an assassin.
Ooh.
We'll fall out if you burn off my beer, Sharon.
Trying to not get in front of the Bright Wizard.
Saggy on the lures. That's a gas blast.
Is Sotek a Necron? No.
Have you rocks in your eyes?
Being a Necron, I don't know if that would be a good thing or not. I guess it would depend on like how high up on the food chain you were. But no, I am. I tend to sympathize much more, or be much more interested in the Tyranids than I am the Necrons. Necrons are cool and all, but I've always, I love the Tyranids. I adore the Tyranids. Like, the only reason I collect 40k tabletop rules is so I can play Tyranids. Like, I have Tyranid models. I've only painted 5 of them, but I do have them.
A warrior rats all have it. I hear a war path.
Yeah, I find in this room it's better to just, like, haul ass and get to the other side. Because it's just way easier to survive.
Would ya? Hell, a globadier!
Another bloody rat, and this time with a flamethrower.
Alright. Hey, I can't pronounce that. Thank you very, very much for the tip, my dude. No squats in the trailer. That's a grudge for sure. Yeah, dude. Dude, I would be so happy for the squats to come. I will say, I never understood, and I still don't understand, honestly. I don't understand why the Skaven and the Dwarves are not, like, a major faction. Or major factions in 40k. Like, considering that originally 40k was, like, just fantasy, but in the far future, which is why we had a lot of those races. But it's like, the Skaven are already basically a 40k race. And the Dwarves would, like, fit in super duper well. I never understood why they stripped away those two from 40k, because they just seem to fit the narrative. And, like, they seem to fit the atmosphere so well. Like, could you imagine how scary Skaven technology would be in, like, a 40k scenario? Like, it would be just insane. Like, maybe that's why they don't do it. It's because the Skaven would just, like, insta-win. But, like, I always would have liked to see. To me, it always seems strange the Skaven weren't a part of 40k. The Skaven would fit in so well. I thought the Ratlings were halflings, not Skaven. Pretty sure the Ratlings are halflings. Squats are eaten by the Tyranids. Well, most of them, but squats have been appearing lately. There's a squat model for Necromunda. You can play a squat, and I haven't read it, and I'm not going to because I'm not going to spend the money on it. But apparently in the Pariah Nexus Psychic Awakening book, there are squats. That's kind of cool.
Poke your head out from behind that shield, Bratty!
Black ones!
Yeah! Black rat's over here!
Skaven would just have super wild Dark Age of Technology things. Yeah.
Warp fire! This day was already bad enough.
Gas rat! Yeah, it's a gas rat!
Remember, a model in the tabletop doesn't have to exist in the setting. Yeah, but I'm 1000% certain that the squats still exist in 40k lore. Like, they absolutely are still a part of 40k. They're just not like a playable race. But they're still around.
Good saddies are dead.
I mean, it's a freaking like space age universe. Even if the squats like main planet was wiped out by Tyranids, there would still be squats in existence. Like the likelihood of them all existing on the same planet and that being it is just absolutely ridiculous. Even by 40k standards.
There! A storm vermin!
There's a rumor about squats returning. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's been a rumor since like 2002. That's like one of the most ancient prophecies of 40k. I think the Emperor will return before the squats return as like a full race. Like, sure, I could totally see the squats as like an elite unit or like a special character that you could have, but as a playable faction, as much as I would love it, I don't know about that. Right, Wizard, bro.
Right.
Gas rat!
See that? Globadier!
You're nothing but layers of scars.
I should cauterize this wound later.
I wish she had like a cauterized spell.
Shield rat, take his weight.
Doesn't she have like a... Isn't one of her talents called cauterize? Now I think about it.
Hey, you gone blind, girl? Oh, storm vermin! One for all here.
Speaking of Necrons, are y'all excited for the new range? Like getting fully released?
Shield bearing!
I am really interested to see what the Silent King's like rules are. Like I'm quite interested in the Silent King and the Void Dragon. The Void Dragon is super sexy looking. Like when I saw the Void Dragon model, I was sitting there like, like I was having a really hard time resisting the call of the Necrons when I saw the Void Dragon. Like that is just a bitchin' model. Like anything that's basically like has the appearance of like a half dragon, I'm always like, ooh, like that's my addiction there. Like that's very hard for me to turn away from. And that Void Dragon model is like I almost want to get the Void Dragon model, but chop his head off and replace it with like some kind of Saurian head or something, and use him as like an old one model. Like just like fill in all the digital looking parts, like where he's like digitizing, like fill those in. Chop off his head and replace it with like some kind of Carnosaur or Saurian head. And, like, give him a bunch of, like, Lizardman iconography, like, carved into his flesh or something. You could have a pretty bitchin' old one from that model. Hey, Prince of Sins. I appreciate you keeping your Twitch Prime sub going. Oh, that reminds me. There was some, like, YouTube member stuff I need to check after this. The Silent King counselors look like Statler and Waldorf. Yeah, I've seen that meme. And it's I love that idea.
Stuff.
Oh, that was a bit close.
Do I think fantasy is simply a better setting than 40K or Age of Sigmar? No. I think that it's different. And like I prefer fantasy to I prefer fantasy to Age of Sigmar or 40K. But just because I don't think any of them are objectively better than one another. It's purely subjective. Like if you like what you like. That's all there is to it. If you like Age of Sigmar more than 40K, great. If you like fantasy more than everything else, great. Like you do you, man. There's no wrong answer. There is only right answers as far as like which is your favorite. Thanks for the tip, Hammond. If you could design your own race in Warhammer Fantasy, what would they be like? Yeah, I have thought about it. If I could do my own race in Fantasy, probably the biggest. You know, if I could do my own race in Fantasy, personally, I would go with the Fishman. I would do the Fishman race, and I would do a very Cthulhu heavily inspired race. Like really gross fish monsters. Like tentacles and krakens and like nasty sea monsters and like madness and fang-filled mouths and like just really spooky gross stuff. Like Idoneth Deepkin are cool, but the Idoneth Deepkin are too elfy. They're way too elfy. For like what I would want from a Warhammer Fantasy fish race. Okay, I'm gonna focus on the whoa. Okay, we all saw that. We all saw that. Ah! I don't know where he went. Summon my axes. Hup, hup, hup.
Keep doing that, and I'll take your man.
Great. We timed that super badly. Because now there's like just a giant ass horde. Oh god! 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 Wow, that got like super dicey. Easy, he says. Where'd you guys learn to block? Alright, I'm ready to leave.
The platform's faster than walking.
Where'd you people learn to dodge? Xenos on gas plants? That'd be cool. What would the fish people be aligned? Oh, I wouldn't do chaos for fish people. If I did fish people, I would want them to be like greenskins, so like they're their own alliance. So like they're destruction aligned, I guess you could say.
This one was worthy of some. Let's get back to it itself.
Oh, throwing axes. Gonna make Skaven sushi.
Black rat!
Huh.
Got that dwarf. Now that's a blow.
And Boobadeer, hold your breath and shield your eyes.
Got him! Pitched his ass right off the side. What do I think about the Amazons and the lore and their chance of getting in Total War? The Amazons are interesting. They're kind of a tricky subject because the Amazons are basically they're basically like a white dwarf project, much like the Vampire Coast. They're a white dwarf project that basically got taken into the mainstream of the lore, but where the Vampire Coast was like easily canonized and like had a really recognizable style and lore, the Amazon lore like goes all over the place, depending on what edition you're looking at. Like if you read the White Dwarf article where they gave like the Amazon, they like told people how to make Amazon models and stuff. The Amazons were like this supernatural, ancient race that like had something to do with the Old Ones, but despite being Old One aligned, they were like kind of enemies with the Lizardmen, which didn't really make any sense. And then outside of them, which was like, okay, that's interesting. And then you get to, and they had like fought the Norskins rather than being of the Norskins. But then you get to like later editions, and in later editions they're like, oh no, the Amazons are Norskins who like were Valkyries, but the Norskins like didn't like having warrior women, despite the fact they have like a name for warrior women being Valkyries. So like they kicked them out or something, and then they wandered and eventually ended up on Amazon Island where something happened to them. And they were able to, like, ascend to be these, like, super badasses. Or in some stories, they're just, like, gifted warrior women. But they, like it's all over the place. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're ever going to see playable Amazons in Total War. Like, if they ever did Amazons, the Amazons would probably be... They would be something like, they would probably be like a single regiment of renown or mercenary unit. They're not going to be a playable race, though. There's just not enough there for them to be a playable race. Like, even, like, in the White Dwarf magazines, if you played Vampire Coast, you could take, like, a faction. That, like, a full playable faction, even though it was a little skinny. But it was, like, suitable for 6th edition. The Amazons were, like, a single character. And that was, like, it. Yeah, the Amazons are super all over the place. I could see, like, a character or a unit from the Amazons making its way in as, like, some kind of mercenary idea. But I would never see them as, like, their own standalone race. There's no way they would do that. Like, there are so many... There are so many races in Warhammer Fantasy, and there are so many above the Amazons. Yeah, I just don't ever see that being a thing. How do I think each of the Uberstrike 5 dies? I'm really hoping we find out. Honestly, that would probably be my biggest wish for the Uberstrike 5, is like, once they come to the end of the Vermintide series, I would really like them to have one of the good Black Library authors, like C.L. Werner or something, like, pen their official narrative about what happens to them in the end. If I had to guess, they're probably going to die fighting some, like... They're either going to die killing some really big special character that didn't get used in the end times, or they're going to end up, like, I could see them, like, essentially doing something that gets them sucked into the Realm of Chaos. And who knows, maybe they survive. If you end up in the Realm of Chaos, you could survive the end times and make it to Age of Sigmar. It would be very strange, but, you know, Gotrek did it. Granted, he was a god, or he was basically a god, but you know, it can be done. Like some of the Warhammer Fantasy Chaos characters who are explicitly mortal, like they are not gods, they are not demons. Some of the Warhammer Fantasy mortal characters survived the end times due to shenanigans. So like they could make it to AOS. I guess I don't want them to. I want them to die, not because I want them to die, but because I think it would tell a better story. Because, like, a lot of people really love the Vermintide characters, so I think it would be very emotionally cathartic for them to go out in a blaze of glory, I guess. You know what I mean?
Silly wizard. You think Seth...
I would love for them to go out fighting somebody, though. I don't know who, but, like, there were plenty of big characters that did not have official on-screen deaths. Like Lord Skrulk, Throt the Unclean, Deathmaster Snitch. Like, none of those guys died on screen that we know of. Like, we know they died because they aren't back in Age of Sigmar, but we never saw what happened to them. So I would, even Thanquol, we don't know what happened to Thanquol before the, like, we know the Great Horned Rat, like, picked him up and put him in jail, essentially. But, or like God jail, but we don't know what happened to him leading up to that. So like maybe Thanquol fights them and lost. That would be really funny, actually.
Cook! The gas rat!
What?
Another storm vermin.
No! You're dead! The walls of Alt... Yeah, if they made it to the Fall of Altdorf, that would be pretty sick. There was a lot of shit going on at the Fall of Altdorf, so, like, the Vermintide 5 being there would not even remotely mess up the narrative, because the Fall of Altdorf was, like, so messy. I mean, I could see these guys being at, like, one of the sieges of Mindenheim, the first or the last one. Wow, you just ate those throwing axes like they were, like, given out of a discount. I don't know, would y'all like if they showed up at, like, one of the sieges of Mindenheim? Because there were two sieges. Well, technically one was a battle, but there were two, like, big incidents. You know, there was the first one where Archaon was invading, and then there was the second one when the good guys were invading. Like, could you imagine if we got to fight Archaon in this game? Like, you can't beat him, but you get to fight him. Like, and you just have to, like, try and survive as long as possible. And that would be awesome. Just show off how, like, fucking scary Archaon is. Ah!
So much for that assassin.
Axes, return! No. Like, I would either have the fish people be a race that doesn't have a god, or the fish people would be, like, they would just have some kind of super spooky god. Kind of like how, you know, like, the greenskins have, like, the spider god, the Feaster from Beyond, where, like, he's definitely a god, but he's super mysterious, and we don't know a lot about him, and he's, like, really creepy. I would do something like that for the fish people. Oh, God, do we not have any mods in chat? We need like, a late-night mod. I'm gonna have to look into getting that.
One last gasp from the sorcerer. Take it out.
Yeah, you stay down, sneaker. The healing draft here.
Wait, isn't there? Oh, someone already got the tome.
The unmistakable aroma of craft and artifice and flame as well.
Uber's ranked 5 fighting alongside Vulcan. Yeah, that'd be pretty sick. No, that's not a good sound.
Well, it's a light. A blight stormer just for us and waiting nearby. Ah, the stink of it. There's a scryer out close.
Hup. Hup.
Failed gas that. Death is too good for you. Shield and rise. Be
Oh, let me
ready.
approve these comments so people can see them.
Black rot! Healing draft!
Ah, bollocks. You still know
Top off, wizard.
Come, black rat. Taste steel.
Guardian!
Oops.
Don't shoot me!
I didn't shoot you, technically. I threw at you.
Look out! Yes!
That's a hook rat. Don't stand there watching. It's got to explode.
Packmaster's dead.
Here's a healing drop.
Wizard! Wizard, top off! Alright, let's do this. You know what? I'm just gonna let the rat ogre, like, eat all the bullets. Am I stuck? There we go. I have a very big love-hate relationship with the... Oh, okay, that was a load of bullshit. Alright, well, I'm dead. Healing on my corpse. I didn't quite get close enough to the shield vermin. You can make your throwing axes return? Yep. The throwing axe button is, or if you hold down R after you throw throwing axes, they'll come back to your hand. Do I know of any pre-Old One races still in fantasy other than the Fimir and the dragons? Dragon ogres.
We'll show that fire rat how it's done!
Most, oh gosh, the dragon ogres, dragons, Fimir,
That one!
any of the dinosaurs that the lizardmen have, so like Carnosaurs, Stegodons, Salamanders, those are all older, or those have all been there forever.
There's a lot of them.
What else has been around for that long?
I had your speed.
And my wits. And my looks as well, I'm sure.
Now that's an that I shall do.
Technically the sleeper had been around since before then, but the sleeper, whether or not you count that, is kind of eh. The Snakemen of Koresh are older than the old ones, or have been around since before the old ones. Pretty much most of the, like, reptilian species have been around since before. Like, all the mammalian, anything that's like a mammal, is probably after the old ones.
Healing draft.
The fish people are probably a primordial race. Slayer is lame? Well, you're lame. Why did Archaon go to Middenheim and in the world what was there? So the storyline they decided to go with
Why did a rock that
was that
In
underneath
my experience,
Middenheim.
Scunners,
So
you may fly
Middenheim's
forward.
built on like a giant mountain essentially, right? Called the Oryxburg. And it's like catacombed with lots and lots of tunnels, and like nobody knows like all of the roads in and out of it, except for like maybe the Skaven. But it's like filled with all like these secret passages and all this other garbage. And basically, Archaon, through like prophecy and stuff, figured out that buried really deep beneath Middenheim was like a old one artifact, like a old one, not a vessel, but like a really, really potent artifact. And the way the original Chaos portals were created was that the way the original 2 portals to the Realm of Chaos at either pole opened up was that they were basically old one devices, like these big stargates. They were these big old one machines that basically got overloaded and exploded. And when they exploded, they tore open the fabric of reality to the Realm of Chaos. So Archaon basically did the same thing. Like, Archaon dug up a really, really powerful ancient artifact of the old ones that was hidden beneath Middenheim. And he had a ton of powerful Chaos Sorcerers cast a big spooky ritual that overcharged it so that it essentially blew up. And when it detonated, granted it wasn't like a earth-shattering detonation, but when it like was thoroughly corrupted or detonated or whatever, it tore open another hole in reality. Like, it tore open a new fragment into the Realm of Chaos. And what Teclis kind of like figured out about the Realm of Chaos is that the Realm of Chaos kind of works like a big magnet. And that if the Realm of Chaos if you have a gateway to the Realm of Chaos opened somewhere on the planet, like it's just wide open, right? Basically what will happen is that portal will try and start expanding into the rest of the world, and kind of the way it does, but that can essentially be warded by having a gateway on the opposite side of the planet, like the exact opposite side. So like the North Pole and the South Pole made it so that Chaos could not reliably devour the entire world, because essentially the portals were kind of repelling each other, like magnets. So Archaon, by opening up this rift in the center of the planet, essentially, like on the surface of the planet, would basically cause there to be an imbalance that would have reliably tipped the situation so that the Realm of Chaos could functionally manifest wherever it wanted. And it would just, like, devour the entire planet. So that was his mission. And, it worked. It almost didn't work, but, you know, because of Manfred von Karstein's last FU moment, it worked. Because when he ripped it open, the Incarnates were able to hold it closed for a bit. But they needed at least 6 Incarnates to hold it closed. And unfortunately, Manfred killed the third one, so there were only 5. And that was a rip for Team Good Guy. Well, Team Everyone But Chaos, I guess would be a better way to put it. Assuming Werner wrote the Vermintide Swan Song, what class would everybody be? Well, everyone would be their canon class. So, like, everyone would be the base class that you start the game with. The other classes, I think, from, like, a lore perspective, are more like alternate universes, not like what they actually are. Like, Bard would just be, like, a super ranger. The Witch Hunter would be a Witch Hunter captain. She would be a Bright Wizard. Like, everyone would just be their, like, whatever your first class is in this game, essentially, I think. Oh, what? That was bull! God, I hate that in this game. When people have, like... When people have, like, 1,000-yard swings. I'm not a big fan of Slayer, I gotta admit.
Hold still, Alan.
Thanks, Dwarf.
That's some deep stuff. I mean, Warhammer lore is, like, insanely deep. It's at least as deep as 40k lore. You know, a lot of people are like, wow, 40k lore is, like, insanely deep. It's been around for 30 years. And it's like, yeah, remember, fantasy was just as old. Like, fantasy, like, 40k and fantasy both are insanely old. Especially because both of their universes essentially became stagnant after a certain amount of time. Like, stopped being developed.
We get it, Bardin, you're tough. Now heal.
I would if I had any healing.
You cannot hide. Caperna!
There's ammunition here.
Perhaps I should send a few flames into the darkness. That'll flush the ratties and Northlanders out.
Slayer's your class of choice when drinking. Yeah, it seems like a good drinking class. Just kind of turn your brain off, hit F as fast as you can, and then just, like, left click. Maybe consider dodging every once in a while, but, you know, it's not really mandatory. You all dead? Good. Alright, well, we made it to the boss, so that's nice.
The circle of death, marked in blood.
Ocean's going down me gob. Well, let's hope this works.
Okie dokie. Is there anything said about how those older races came into being? Regular evolution. Jack Clark seems to be the case. We don't know. Like, all of our knowledge of the Warhammer Fantasy planet literally starts when the old ones show up. Like, the only thing it says is, like, the old ones are like, oh yeah, we showed up on the planet, and there was a lot of races we weren't really big fans of. Like, that was really all we got from the old ones. How did the wizard go down, like, instantly? I didn't get my shield up fast enough. Ow! Oh, of course it's Chaos Warrior. I actually really like that Bodvar, like, lists all the shit you've done to piss him off while you're fighting him. That always cracks me up. You got my axes sticking out of your back, bro. Woo! Okay. Easy peasy.
Darling, I think it's time for us to take a bow and dance away.
Yeah, this doesn't look good, does it?
Are you dead? There's a Chaos Warrior here.
Solid gold.
Chaos Warrior. Just what we needed. Back to the soil, Chaos Warrior.
I love how when the dwarf jumps, he's like just super heavy. And you guys are annoying. See ya. I'll just leave my axes there. What are the old ones? Like, what do they look like? We don't know. The old ones, the only thing we know about the old ones, really, is that we know they're a spacefaring race. We know they had spaceships. We know they had discovered faster than light travel. We know they knew how to seed life, and that they had a multi-planet empire. We know that they discovered the greenskins on another planet because they accidentally brought the greenskins to the Warhammer planet. We know that they were so advanced that to them, the difference between magic and science, there wasn't a difference, it was the same thing. We know that they were so far advanced that they could operate on races on a genetic level and basically like craft new species, basically in like almost just out of just basic building blocks. We also know that they were so obscenely powerful that if you tried to, like, be in the presence of an old one, it would basically break your brain. Unless you were something insanely powerful, like a Slon, or like a first-generation Slon, or a second-generation Slon. We know that they looked very different from each other. I would actually say that the old one... We know that they had physical forms, so like they weren't beings of energy like they are in 40k. They had physical bodies, but it seemed very much like they were designed to... it seems vaguely suggested that they had the ability to either change their appearance, like shapeshift, or they had the appearance to, or they had the ability to, or like each of them was so different looking that there were like different species, but it's almost impossible to tell. Didn't they just added a bunch of new cosmetics, if I remember right? Ooh, do I have enough for that hat I've been wanting? No, God, it's $17.25. It's so expensive. I'm almost there. Got like 500 silver to go.
The time has come, people.
What would happen if the Chaos Gods and all of their servants were in Middle Earth? I imagine Eru Iluvatar would like bitch slap them into the next universe. Because he's like God, like God above all other gods God. I imagine he would not appreciate their involvement. So, yeah, I don't think that'd go over well. He would probably intervene, since that would be like an outside force.
If you don't do exactly as I say, you won't be coming back.
Is the DLC game for this worth it? That depends on how much you play. Like, if you play this game a lot, Scripted Samurai, like, you're like, oh man, I play Vermintide. Like, if you're like, oh, I get on and I play every night, then yeah, sure, the DLC's worth it. If you maybe play once a week or something, I probably wouldn't get it unless there's, like, a particular part of that DLC that looks really interesting to you. Like, if you really, really want to play with the Beastmen being an optional enemy type, then you might want to be like, oh yeah, sure, I'll, you know, download the Winds of Magic so that I can enjoy fighting. Like, the Beastmen are fun to fight. They're hard, but they're fun. Yeah, I don't know. You just kind of have to look at what each DLC offers, like the new weapons it gives you and stuff, and kind of come to your own decision, you know? I do like that damage reduction. That is, very nice.
By Sigma,
Hey, Board
I
Thing,
shall
how you
see
doing, man?
The invaders pay for what they've done to Helmgart.
Well, Evil 9, I will note, the reason I'm playing Slayer is because I'm trying to unlock all of the Throwing Axe achievements. Which, to unlock all the Throwing Axe achievements, I need to beat every boss on Legendary while having Throwing Axes equipped. This is the last boss I need, though. So that's nice. Like, we already did Hell Scourge, which is good, because Hell Scourge is the worst. Because I definitely much prefer using, like, double two-handed weapon.
Bloody Globadier! Globadier's down!
It's like under me. Whoa, 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 whoa! Easy, easy, easy. I do wish I had dual hammers though. Like dual hammers are, at least in my opinion, much more like just an amazing weapon for dealing with hordes. Dual axes just don't quite have that same level of what's the word I'm looking for? They don't have the same like ability to hit a lot of guys.
Storm vermin ahead. He'll burn. Storm vermin. Ammunition here. Found some ammunition.
Isn't the last Grim like here somewhere? Or am I crazy?
Black rat. It will burn.
Oh my god.
There it is.
Missed everything.
Right, forget it, could I?
I'm good at games. Whoa, did y'all see that? There's like... Oh my... Okay, I'm okay. Hup! And hup! Sorry, hup! I need to be trying to get kills with my thing here as much as I can. My throwing axe. Because I do have to kill like 1,000 enemies with it, which is not actually that easy, because you only have 3 at a time. I just need to like just super chuck into every giant horde that comes my way.
Already with you, peasant. Never matched your speed yet.
Efficiency? Oh, I don't know what I even said. Get the Grim, it's right there. Wait, where? Was it up there? Oh, isn't it like down that shaft or something? I don't remember. I'm not gonna worry about it. Yeah, there's an unusual amount of enemies for this little area. God, Storm Vermin are just the worst, dude. Because just because a Storm Vermin is among a group of clan rats, it takes me like multiple hits to kill him. So if I'm just like frenziedly attacking, I just won't kill him in time. So dumb. Too late, Mr. Now it's okay. Hey, Trim Tenacious Tails, how you doing, man? He didn't drop anything. What a rude boy.
Weird stone operators. Rattling's gone.
So I'll let the rattling gun kill him.
Bomb, anyone? Norska. The sooner we're out of this frigid nightmare, the better.
Hold your ground! The Chaos Warrior comes!
So anyone got any plans this weekend? Y'all doing anything?
That's better. One less Chaos Warrior.
Staying safe at the very least, I hope.
The main camp is beyond even a muster of Imperial regiments. Seek Alicia's route.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind, Jaemon. Thanks, my dude.
As expected, the Skittergate.
I wonder if we're gonna start seeing like a lot of 40k players like picking up Vermintide and starting to practice so they can get used to like Fat Shark mechanics before Darktide comes out.
Docks ahead. And from what I gather, the back door. Ah, potions!
I've spotted ammunition! Take that, armored rookie! Out of cash!
Potion here.
You hear that, mate?
That was a nice hit. Nope. 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 Oh my god. I love when something like big runs at you and you're just like, nope. Like, get fucked. Do I reckon we'll see Fator the Tainted in Warhammer 3? Who the hell is Fator the Tainted? Is that something I'm supposed to know? That is not ringing a bell. Is that like a Vermintide character? Oh, got him! And it was a headshot. Whoa, okay, hello. Where did all these guys come from? Like, they got between me and my group. Rude boys. Now they're all dead. Potion of strength time! Chug chug! How did I jump through it? Yeah, get stomped. Whoa, okay.
Just want to be your friend. Warrior to kill.
What race should you play in Total War Warhammer 2? Dwarves? What lord? Do Thorgrim. Thorgrim needs some love.
Hanging by a thread here.
Heal yourself, Marcus. Now.
I landed all three axes right in his face. He didn't go down though, like, I'll give him credit. Dude's tough. Funk.
Here they come. Blood everywhere, and another one gone. I think he's having a fit. Keep quiet. The Reggie down nearby. Power machinery is no match for Imperial steel. That's a gas rat.
Chop, 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 chop. Oh dear.
Get up, wizard.
Good morning from the UK. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, it's about 12 o'clock.
On your toes, mates.
I need to be in. I do need to keep an eye on the time because I do have a long drive tomorrow. But I'm not driving, so I guess I could just sleep in the car. But I don't want to stay up too late. Not gonna really be able to do much. Tomorrow's gonna suck. Like, Saturday's not gonna be great because of the funeral, but tomorrow's gonna really suck. Because I'm gonna drive down to Houston, and then because of the virus, it's not like I can do anything. I'm just gonna sit. I'm just gonna sit in a hotel room and wait until the funeral.
Keep doing that, and I'll take your beard.
A little too high.
We need to kill it.
Huh.
Look at us run!
Oh, damn, I didn't realize that was a big guy. I hate the big Norskins. The guys with the like great axes, because like they're the same. Like at a glance, they just look like a regular dude. Especially when you use your stupid jump, so the entire screen is like berserker tinted.
Healer's draft, no sense wasting it. Chaos warrior, maybe don't fight it alone. See?
How many slayers would it take to beat a giant? On average, you'd probably want like a good 10 to 20 slayers to take down a giant. Giants are pretty uncoordinated and like awkward, and slayers tend to be really, really well designed due to their fanatical nature to do what it takes to kill a giant, even though it's going to result in their own death a lot of the time. So like slayers are pretty good at dealing with them. Keep up the good work. Thanks, my dude. Oh yeah, speaking of work, have y'all been enjoying the live stream from the hotel? No. No. Well, I would have nothing to live stream. Like, it would literally just be me sitting there. Like, at best, I'll have a book with me. Nope.
Guess all those years as a battle wizard paid off.
There's a chaos warrior nearby. That's all.
I mean, giants have reasonably tough flesh and muscles and stuff, but like a slayer is gonna be a problem for a giant. Almost always. Because all they have to do is get it on the ground. The second that giant falls over, those slayers are going to be on its throat in, like, no time. And then it's dead.
Keep your guard up. That's a chaos warrior. Receive the judgment of Sigma! Medicine here, should anyone care.
Sorry for your loss. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
We got the Strangler! A warfire thrower! Kill the fruity before it fires!
I'll not have another one of those!
In the lore, what is the typical anti-cav tactic for dwarves? A shield wall. Like, that's what dwarves do. Like, whenever dwarves see like a heavy cav charge coming, like they got a lot of the high elves used a lot of cav, especially in the early stages of the War of the Beard or the War of Vengeance, depending on which side you tend to ascribe to. In the War of Vengeance, the way the dwarves would handle big elf charges is they would literally just make a shield wall. Like, they'd just make a big-ass shield wall and wait. And the problem with dwarves is that when a dwarf plants their feet, like, and they have their shields up and they're locked together, like, and, you know, it's like, you know, and they're all in, like, high-quality armor and shit, it doesn't really matter what you throw at them. That wall is going to hold. That's probably like the biggest difference between Total War Warhammer dwarves and lore dwarves, is that if lore dwarves are braced for a charge, it doesn't mean shit how, like, if it's a group of demigryphs or silverhelms or what. Like, if it's not like a big-ass monster, it's not getting through. That dwarf line will hold. And they'll just wait until, like, the horse line, like, slams into them. And then as soon as that horse line slams into them, they raise up their shields and start swinging, like, axes and stuff. And they'll chop down, like, using cav against dwarves in the lore is actually not a very good tactic.
A medicine satchel.
Because assuming they don't just blow the shit out of it with war machines, like getting through a dwarf shield wall is exceedingly difficult. It tends to be the only thing Cav is really good for against the dwarves in the lore is getting around them and trying to get to their war machine lines and take them out. Not even a poison mortar. Well, poison wind mortars will kill anything if it just stands there.
The damnable thing lives again.
Like, generally the way dwarves try and survive poison wind mortars is they literally just hold their breath. What is the next Q&A race? You'll find out next week.
Disable the warp regulator. Things will get warm. Very warm.
Give me all the tempo. Ha!
The gate is failing. If we are to escape, it must be now. Go! That's what we...
Oh, did I? Wait, what? Oh, okay. I got, like, weirdly stuck.
Healing elixir. Down the hatch.
I feel like even just being remotely close to all, like, these Skaven machine fumes would just be, like, instant cancer. Granted, I don't think the Vermintide 5 are gonna live long enough to, like, have to worry about that, but... like,
Short-sighted as well.
ooh, I cannot see. Okay. Saltspire just got fucking slapped before we get over here. In Vermintide, what is my favorite map? My favorite map... honestly, I think Skittergate may actually be my favorite map. I really enjoy Skittergate. Like, I find it a very enjoyable map with a really fun boss fight, even though the last phase of the boss fight is kind of bullshit. I don't know. I have a lot of nostalgia for Horn of Magnus, though. Like, I really like the Horn of Magnus for pure nostalgia purposes. Oh, he just, like, punched me the next week.
No magic shield, mate. Pick up your feet, Trimbarazzi!
Okay, I need to hide. I've got Bone Rattler's attention. Oh, I'm stuck. 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 Ah! Oh, God!
Hey, the Seer's shield is gone.
Oh! Help! Oh, God. It's just like 3 slaves. Get them off me. I'm gonna hide back here. Okay, Bone Rattler's dead. That's good. I'm gonna try and get to a good position here. Bull. Oh my god. Alright, I'm just gonna focus on killing the— Ah, fuck! I was like, oh, I'll just kill the ads and walk right into it. Shield vermin, dude. Okay. I'm just gonna like run away until the witch hunter's back up. Ah! Ah! Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I'm all that's left. Ah, guys, you gotta, like, watch out for the... Oh. Gotta kill the ads, dudes. Gotta kill the ads. Yikes. It's the only thing that kills people on that mission. It's like everyone gets so busy trying to kill Ratsnick that they get, like, butt poked to death. They're just freaking plague monks. Who's the biggest troll god in Warhammer Fantasy? Probably Tzeentch, honestly. Well, like, troll god is in, like, a god that actually trolls other people. I don't know. I actually would probably say Loic. Loic is kind of, like, infamously bad. Or not bad, like, Loic is infamously douchey. And, like, he can be a good trickster, but he can also be a bad trickster, too. In the dwarf Q&A, the average dwarf is 5'5". Barden seems a generous 4'5". Is he just that short? Well, yeah, Barden is pretty... I don't know. Do they have, like, an official page for, like, characters' heights? I mean, Barden might just be kind of small, but, maybe these guys are tall, I don't know. I don't think Barden is 4'5", but... The Slayer's useless? No, I'm just bad with them. There are lots of good Slayers. I have played with good Slayers. I am just not one of them. Maybe I should change out to a great weapon? No, I feel like chewing through hordes is more important. Honestly. Yeah. I'm just bad. How powerful / prominent is Ranald in the lore? Ranald's not an exceedingly powerful god. He's definitely on the... Ranald is a god who is much more about knowing how to use your strength as opposed to having a lot of it. What about Lilith? I wouldn't say Lilith is a troll. Lilith is deceptive.
Once there, we have a plan. Thanks to Alicia's magical espionage. So calm down and listen good.
Would I rather have Vermintide 3 or do I like Darktide? No, I'm fine with Darktide. I really enjoy Vermintide 2. I just want them to keep adding content onto Vermintide 2. I don't think we need a whole new game. Especially because although I am very much looking forward. Oh, we got health regen this time and damage reduction. Praise be. Praise be. And attack speed. Wow, that's like a all-star combo right there. Woo! Well, that caught me a little off guard. Turn a corner and there's just like a storm vermin already mid-swing.
Who's with me?
damage reduction is pretty useless above veteran. Well, it still makes me feel better.
Still not rise.
I feel like 10% damage reduction statistically should be significant. Even in, like, maybe it's not like, oh, you're going to be able to take, like, a full extra amount of damage, but I feel like it might be able to give you, like, one extra, a little bit more leniency when it comes to, like, your guard's broken. What the where did all these assholes come from? Fuck off, dude. Jesus.
Ha-ha! You fight like a dwarf, Azumgi! Get that!
Again, the elder schools herself in a fixed school of slaughter. Sigma survives.
Oh, I made a mistake. Oh, I made a mistake.
Shielding! We got the Strangler!
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Not yet. Audacity and Agalor!
I did it. I saved the team.
No more shots.
I'm the hero. I did it.
Look out, rattling guns! Another of these black birds comes to challenge me.
Now we just need healing before we all die horribly.
Don't burn it!
Skitter gates in sight, lumberfoots.
I'm not gonna bother with the second Grim. I know where it is, but I'm not gonna bother. Oh no, it shows up right there. Ah, okay, I guess we're doing it.
Here's a healing draft.
Well, here goes nothing.
His name is in this bottle.
Someone pull the lever. No sense hanging about, waiting for the other shit to drop.
You don't need that. I could do it. I could avenge the War of Vengeance right here. Right now. What do Grims do? So Grims lower your maximum health, but at the end of the map, you get bonus experience and a much higher chance of getting better loot.
That was right. Healing draft. The healing draft here.
Even for you, me.
Why are we leaving a tome here? Shouldn't we leave a healing pot here? Whatever. I'll assume they know what they're doing.
I hear a rattling gun.
Usually there's like a guaranteed Sakra in here, but tome stays there. Okay. That's a bummer. Normally there's almost always a Sakra in there.
Come on then, you blackbird bastard!
Well. Yoink, yoink, and yoink. just take those. Ha!
Yeah, give that looter a
Ha!
kick.
It's up here.
Got a healing draft here.
Well, we've already got 2 loot dice. Nice. Yeah, you can just stay down. Wait for me. One of my favorite races in Warhammer 2, Lizardmen and Tomb Kings, I would say are my favorite. The Lizardmen and Tomb Kings are amazing. But don't get me wrong, I also really like the Vampire Coast, but they don't really fit my personal thematics.
No unescapable death traps yet. Seems like Alicia's still coherent and evil.
Does anyone know what the enemies are in Darktide? They look like plague
There's a
zombies.
Chaos Warrior near. Look at that armored brute.
One day I'll catch up with my party.
Wrangler! Aha! You want to know that, Snooky?
Don't let it snare you. Beware the hook.
Hookrak's dead!
With the whip.
Ooh, this is not enjoyable at all. They've got like a bunch of big boys with them. Whoa, okay. Excuse you.
Over there, Lumberfist. A Chaos Warrior. Sleeping Shadow.
I gotta be more careful with those. Keep hitting my teammates like an idiot. Oh my god, that's the second tip. Hold on. Hold on.
Healing draft. You'll need it.
Did he die?
Armored penitent! Fight the righteous fight! Packmaster's done! Kill the bar at Ringbrazi while you still can! Lightstormer!
No, stop!
His chance!
Oh, come on!
That's a stone! Yeah.
I didn't need a chaos spawn in my life. At least this is kind of a nice little arena. God, I love having a Grail Knight. Grail Knight kills monsters so fast. Well, so does a Bounty Hunter, of course. Gotta give credit where credit's due. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drink this. I can just leap instant. Every other step, I'm gonna take a leap.
Sorrow for a dead Packmaster.
Gaslat's dead.
Chop move with dual axes is instant headshot. What is the chop move? This?
Listen up! That's a Kazaki door!
Hagbane helps too. Yeah, everybody gets credit. Everyone except me.
Time for a potion.
I don't think so.
The eternal dance.
I hear it.
Leech. I hear it.
You down there?
I've lost mates to Chaos Warriors. I don't want to lose
Leech
more.
prowling.
Multi-leech. Nice. My favorite. Boop.
Chaos Warriors dead.
Big thing is I gotta work on my dodges.
Packmaster is slain. Gaslat! Ah!
Sotek, what kind of Slayer would I think Barden is? I would say Barden's probably a giant Slayer. I don't think Barden. I don't think you could classify Barden as a Dragon Slayer. I think at best he could get away with being called a giant Slayer.
You're a bit tiny for my taste.
A Stunner Warrior comes for us. Stun ready.
Hup. Hup.
Hard body and soul. find it, kill it. What's that blood, Ricky?
Likely splitter.
That was a beautiful dodge. Oh dear.
With this, I talk. Someone
Ah! Dodged too far.
die of boredom.
It worked though. I had the jukes. I just juked a little too hard. Where's that? Where's that bounty hunter? There he is.
Listen.
There's an assassin.
Do that again.
Ah, I got him.
I will skewer you.
Huh. Ah!
That sorcerer. He's warping the wind.
I'm coming. Rude.
The eternal dance.
Okay, he's got heals.
I will not run from the blunderbuss.
God, fucking people like jump at the weirdest angles. Okay. One guy gets behind you. That's all it takes. I kind of wish there was like a whirlwind. Like, I wish there was a weapon that would let you like spin around or something. What difficulty is this, Legend? If they had demons, would he be a demon slayer? Well, to truly be a demon slayer, you technically need to kill like a greater demon, not just any demon. It's a little more difficult to get than just killing any old demon. I'm gonna mess this dude up.
Just another dragon stunner stampeding towards certain death.
Ah! Denied!
Not even unholy intervention could stay my righteous blood. I mock you,
Ow.
foul-played
Ow!
father. I and Sigma stand victorious.
Nobody saw that. Dude, I'm so happy to have the ranking coins in now. Vayne did such a good job with those. Like, I'm glad I can look at a glance and see, like, oh, this person has been a supporter of the channel for this long, or X long, or whatever. Also, I will be checking the tips as soon as we get to the end of this map. We are near it.
A rot hell.
I know there's been 2 tips that I haven't read yet because I'm just the worst streamer in the universe. Streaking. Killed him.
Go softly into your failure, assassin.
I should probably go get that book. Wait, what? Oh, I'm not high enough up. I will say, I do hope for Darktide, the 40K game, I really hope they, like, crank up the horror factor. Because one thing they did really well with this game was, like, the violence and the brutality of it, but the only thing I kind of wish is I wish there was more of a horror element. Like, some of the stuff is, like, really nasty and visceral, but I wish there were some, like, genuinely frightening critters. Oh, wait, did they get it? Oh! bitch. Bitch!
Gutter runner! Not a bad drop, considering.
Shouldn't we have 3 tomes by this point?
Welcome. Oh, doesn't be a vagabond!
Or am I crazy?
Light stormers, done.
Chaos warrior stomping around.
I need a
A
sense.
fleeting shadow.
Ah, damn, I tried to save him. What happened? They run to a patrol?
Royal chaos warrior.
Come on, Doctor.
Yep. Now or never. Holy fuck. Oh my god, there's so many! I always miss like one.
Assassin! I'm throwing a bomb!
Well, that was,
Well, let's hope this works.
oh, right, we left a tome in the boss room. I'm such a dummy.
The fire's out! Thought I'd lose my beard for a moment there.
Oh, that could have been worse. Could have been better, but it could have been worse.
Potion over here!
Blightstormer, I warned you.
Dory, I'm over here, course.
Gas.
Can I make this jump? Yes.
Lower the boots.
Up, Victor, up. Oh, you're kidding me! I see you, little bitch. Woo! Got that block up in time. And there's another
needs
globe
to
here.
die.
Gas rat's dead.
Good grief. How tall is a skink? Yeah, like 4 to 5 feet. I'd say they're in the 4-foot ballpark.
Not before time.
Like, well, I'd say they're in the 5-foot ballpark. So, like, upper 4 feet, lower 5 feet. Maybe upper 5 feet. I don't know. I'd have to go check some stuff.
Me fly.
That's like super specific knowledge, so it's difficult to remember off the top of my head.
The damnable thing lives again. Proceed to the sabotage point. Quickly now.
I know how to push. I just like to forget about it. Wait, are you telling me that this is the head chop? Is that what you're telling me? It's not a push, it's a head chop? That looks like a push. It looks like a push, and it acts like a push. Hup, hup, hup.
To the gate! Leave no one behind!
Time to heal, Dwarf. Or not.
Way Watcher, if you hit me once more, hang about. Sticks my leg back on.
position. Take
All right.
all you can.
Here we go. Hup. I can't even reach him. I can't reach. Wait, every melee... Oh! Oh, wow. I just learned something completely new about this game. Wow, that is kind of amazing. Rude. Random question. No, y'all, there may not. I'm assuming someone knows the answer to this. Is it possible to kill Ratsnake before Death Rattler, or does he like just hop on his back and become invincible until you kill Death Rattler? Okay, I'm gonna pick a corner.
Yes, the glacier is molten.
Like, I'm assuming he's invincible until you kill his pet.
Shield Racky incoming! Jory always... They don't deserve peace and quiet.
I got double knockbacked. Plague bots. And he's super dead. I'll take that. I got strafes. I like how he's just eating warpstone the entire time. What a nerd. Bro, rude. Get fucked, Ratsnake! You got an axe sticking out of your face, bro.
Come on, Grimkey, can't you hear them laughing at you? Let me
Our witch hunter really doesn't like watching his back.
Come on then, we'll...
Gotta watch out for the butt pokes. Let's get the fuck out of here. Huh.
Hurry, this way.
Yeah, I figured it out. I did not know that if you hold down block, you do an attack. I did not know that. That is brand new information to me. Like, holy shit. I'm a-coming.
Follow me!
Everyone's so much faster than me. That was a 3 for 3. That one was 0 for 3. Ha! Ha!
Oh, delightful detonations! The sound of sacred victory! and the death of an
I cannot believe I've played through this entire game without knowing there's a block attack. You even move faster.
Quiet, dwarf.
Boop. Boop. And boop. Dual axe that deals as much damage as a charged attack. Damn, dude. Do Slayers take pride in being called a demon or dragon slayer, or do they not really care? Slayers don't really care. Plus, you have to remember that when you're a Slayer, it's considered bad for you to still be alive. Like, Gotrek Garnison is considered the worst Slayer to ever live. Because he just keeps not dying. Like, that's considered a curse, if anything. So I would say most dwarves are not terribly fond, or most Slayers are not terribly fond of having like a higher rank. Like, I'm sure they acknowledge it, because it is important and it does add to their glory, but like, they're just trying to die, man. Like, they're just trying to die. Oh, my damage taken actually was not that bad that round. When is the next Versus video? There should be one coming up in the near future. I need to... We'll see, because we might have like a new editor for that. There we go. We got the red throwing axes. Before I got the medium throwing axes. Oh my god, getting 1,000 kills with throwing axes is gonna be such a pain in the ass. But at least I can do it with fancy looking ones now. Let's see, so I need to de-equip those. That way I can go throwing axe and make them red in appearance. Beautiful. Now that's an axe with some proper runes. I can actually translate what runes these are when I have some free time. That might be fun. Should do that for all the dwarf weapons at some point. Oh, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, I should probably make this. Oh, that's cool. Shows how many kills I have on these weapons ever since I put the mod on. It's kind of nice. Part of me was like, oh, I could make this into a red, but then I realized that my twin axes are already like, they're literally max as good as they can be, so making them red wouldn't do anything. Well, I'm not even halfway done with the hero challenges. Good grief. What time is it? Alright, guys.
Thanks for drilling my lads, Gruber. Long on enthusiasm, but they lack experience.
They'll do fine, as long as they keep their heads.
What will it take for...
Gonna have to call it there for the night, my dudes. Am I in the beta? No, I'm not in the beta yet. I gotta get to bed. Because I have to drive to Houston tomorrow. Which that is a long, boring-ass drive. And it's already almost 1:30 a.m. And I have to be on the road no later than 11. So it is time for me to turn in. Especially because I want to record a little something for you guys so y'all have stuff to watch tomorrow morning and Saturday morning. No reds today. That's okay. It's okay.
I'll find you some more. So whoever's stealing her brushes can
I love all my reds. I have so many reds. Pleases me. Don't worry, I have not forgotten. We've got to read all those tips and stuff. So we'll do that right now. Let's see. Spellbound, thanks for the $5 tip, my dude. Haven't got a stream before. Want to show my appreciation for your work. Well, I really do appreciate it. And then Mason Rally, thanks for the $3 tip, my dude. Darktide hype in the chat. What am I most excited about for the upcoming game? And they are Plague Zombies. I think the most thing I'm the most excited for is I hope we get to use, like, just stupid guns. Like, I hope we get to just use, like, the most nasty, borderline OP, grotesque weapons in Darktide. Like, big-ass plasma guns, grenade launchers. I want lots of booms and explosions and just, like, dissolving people into ash kind of weapons. Yeah, that's my big hope. And then, earlier, Odd One Out and Home Slicer, I think became a member while I was offline. So, thank you both for becoming a member. Hope you guys enjoy the emotes and the tags and stuff. And yeah, that's gonna be it for me, dudes. I'm gonna have a video. I was gonna try and get out some more Hero of Legend videos while I was gone, but I'm not quite done with, like, the Dark Elf Hero of Legend script, and I don't want to, like, ham fist through it because it's still gonna take me at least 2 or 3 hours to finish writing it. Because it has 2 characters in it, and I finished the first one, but the second one's gonna be even longer. That's probably gonna be like a 30-minute video, like the Wood Elf one today was. So there probably will not be a Hero of Legend video on tomorrow or Saturday, but I think tomorrow I'm going to put out a video I think a lot of people will like. That's going to be basically like, if you want to read about your favorite race in Warhammer Fantasy, what are, like, the books you should get. In addition to, like, if you just want to start getting into Warhammer lore, like, what are the most important books to get. And then I think on Saturday we're gonna do, I guess Saturday I could talk about the Vermintide update and Darktide. That might be good. But anyway, whew. Hope you all have a great day. I'm gonna record those and then I'm gonna go to bed. So I will talk to you later. I'll see y'all Saturday evening. So until then, stay safe, wear a mask, wash your hands, don't become a statistic, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.